You know, in a sense, this is like grim and depressing stuff, but honestly, for the scope of this video, man, this is fun. I can't wait. This is a banger, so let's go. Steam's policy just forced Activision to disclose their use of AI in Call of Duty. That hard confirms what, well, we've all seen with our eyeballs, but it also confirms leaks, including leaks of internal documents that we actually covered a little while ago. But then we zoomed in the story, and when we did, it got worse. And this has got to be seen to be believed. It's not the title we've run with for today's video, I think anyway, but they've literally found a way to profit from your death. Yeah, hilarious. Now, COD has always been a massive money-making machine. Now it looks desperate. Even though it's literally not desperate, it's successful. No, this is not desperation, this is them pushing and pushing. And most egregiously, there is a new system designed to profit from your death in the game. It's all made worse, of course, by AI cheapening what we even see in the game, including our rewards, and that means that it doesn't feel like the fruits of their truly absurd, overpriced, complex, layered monetization system. I mean, even just before recording, there was a thing that we thought conferred certain benefits, right? For like buying it for the season. Then we found out it's actually a like stacking thing as you buy it across seasons. This is insane. I'm going to go mad. But don't worry, we'll go mad for you. And the upshot is something that costs $70 with a budget of well over 600 million. I mean, COD Blop's cow. Yep, that one costs $700 million. Something with that budget, and this price tag has never felt so cheap. Let's go. Now, something you don't know about me is that I enjoy building things like this app front end, and that's why today's sponsor, Boot.dev, is so relevant, because with Boot, you'll learn back-end web development using Python and Go. I've got a sick discount for you. Those are two excellent languages, and they will set you up well as a programmer. And why I love Boot, though, specifically is how it works, because it's basically a fantasy RPG. You've got quests, XP, public leaderboards. I mean, just look at the public leaderboard updating in real time as real users are doing lessons, and so much more, like the spell book, which is packed with programming reference material, but you unlock it as you progress in a natural way. It's so cool. And that's all because Boot's founder loves RPGs, actually a viewer of our channels, and that's why he's built it for people like us. And you'll learn real, practical programming skills, not just basics. That means portfolio projects, mastering Git, and what you'll actually need for a real job. And the best news is you'll get 25% off your first purchase at boot.dev/Bellular News, and it's zero risk. You can browse their content, do demos, and a lot more for free. And when you do buy, they're backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was the best-selling game of 2024. Per Microsoft, it delivered the franchise's biggest launch ever, it had record day one players, it had substantial Game Pass growth, but also on Steam and PlayStation unit sales were up 60% year over year. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I was one of those sales, and I didn't buy the previous game. I'm part of why those sales were up 60%. And that's because actually, it's a bloody good game. Seriously, the campaign's one of the best ones in years. I had a lot of fun in the multiplayer, but if I go anywhere near it now, it's all garish brands and insanity that just kind of makes me go, ugh. What it is more, though, is a testbed. A testbed that fully justifies the renewed wave of calls for core multiplayer to become a free-to-play experience matching Warzone, because when you play it, a full $70 game, it feels honestly worse than many free-to-plays, and nothing makes it feel cheaper than this new tactic. Their new tactic is designed to funnel you from death to store, but before that, you need to learn about a patent. Because this patent at the time raised eyebrows. It's horrible, and knowing that it exists, yeah, makes me think about the future of this game. So here's what the patent does in their own words. Quote, match a more expert/marquee player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items possessed/used by the marquee player. The idea here is really simple. It's that matchmaking would pair players with no cosmetics against players with loads of cosmetics to entice purchases. Of course, if you know anything about matchmaking, that's not going to be good for game quality. Now, I must be clear, there is no evidence that this has been implemented, right? No evidence. But it is something they've thought of. It's perhaps in the back pocket. And with that in mind, let's talk about the new change. Whenever someone kills you in Call of Duty, of course, you get a kill cam. The kill cam now displays a prompt to wishlist the cosmetic blueprint of the weapon that just ended your life. It is a direct pipeline to the in-game store, and it's one that exists in a world where they've already designed a matchmaking system that, if implemented, would complement a feature like this perfectly. Right? Oh, lovely stuff. And if you've got a keen memory, you may remember the copy loadout feature from the Modern Warfare 2019 beta. Yeah, you could copy someone's loadout. That's just their loadout. That was a gameplay-oriented feature that was removed before the actual launch of that game. This, though, is worse. This is wishlisting paid-for premium blueprints. Now, those are cosmetic, but they've also got a pre-built attachment setup, which in many cases can circumvent hours upon hours of grinding. I have one real clear example of that. It was the Akimbo Diamatis at a point in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. They were absurdly overpowered. And funnily enough, when a build of them that was very overpowered, that took hours upon hours of grinding to earn, existed, they published a cosmetic blueprint that basically had the OP build. So you could just buy the OP build right now, immediately, and use it. That does not feel good. And there's a funny thing, the prompt only appears on the kill cam. The kill cam is the very thing someone will watch if they want to improve and, kill the guy instead of, well, now being sat watching the kill cam of the guy killing them. Now what it does is say, you can buy the thing they killed you with. The implication is perhaps you can then kill that person and other people with that thing that you can buy next time. That feels bad, but it's just one part of what we're going to cover today. I told you this would be a fun video. It is. So, yeah, it's turtle time. Few examples are worse than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover because it demands approximately $90 plus event pass progression to unlock all the awards. So, each turtle costs $20 and comes with a custom melee variant, additional cosmetics, and a color-matched weapon blueprint. So, $90, a lot of money. But, of course, we do live in a brand invasion, and that means that we can compare the turtles' outings in other games. As an example, in Fortnite, all 4 turtles plus their weapons is $32. There you go, Tim Sweeney, man of the people. Injustice 2 has a $20 pack that adds all the turtles plus 2 more characters. Now, Street Fighter 6 does edge Call of Duty out just a little bit at $100 for all of its turtleness, but that's only because they charge for individual sticker sets, which I've got to imagine a lot of people don't buy. But guess what, everyone? The squeeze is actually worse. Crossovers have now got their own separate passes layered on top of the regular Battle Pass. It's a trend that started with the January Squid Game crossover. Now, the game's event pass will offer 2 Foot Clan Ninja operator skins for free, but if you want Master Splinter, you'll need to complete the entire pass and pay an additional $10. Big happy smiles. But that's not all. No, it's not all. There's the Black Cell Premium subscription that adds a cumulative layer to all of this. Yes, cumulative. It incentivizes you to do the premium upgrade every season with cumulative rewards, and when you've got that, well, you get a 10% XP boost. That XP boost, of course, covers every pass through to the end of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and that does include your event passes, which you'll want to progress so you get your turtle stuff. And to make this worse, it's a yearly model. Now, last year's Modern Warfare 3 had skins that did not transfer over to Black Ops 6. I actually didn't know that. They only transferred through to Warzone. I mean, hey, at least your Fortnite skins will stick around for years. Now, what makes it worse is how this came as a surprise, and it's why it was a surprise to me. Modern Warfare 2 marketed itself in skins carrying over to Modern Warfare 3, and it very much seemed that that was like their overall grand plan, because, hey, they wanted to sell cosmetics. If they're doing that, they should really make sure that from COD game to COD game, not just Warzone, you can keep your cosmetics. Well, that expectation did not hold from Modern Warfare 3 to Black Ops 6, and that means that right now people will be buying these skins without knowing if the next premium game will even support them, which feels bad. But there's one expectation that is being met. It's not a good one. It's that they will leverage AI to cut costs. Not exactly to leverage new technology to be more efficient. Oh, good things. Oh, no. No, just cheap slop. That's what we're getting. You know, as a short-term capitalist, as I'm sure you guys are as well, I'm absolutely thrilled that all of this revenue maxing is being matched by cost cutting. You know, I thought that long-term shareholder value was the goal. This shit doesn't seem like long-term shareholder value to me. But anyway, this is where Mr. Newell comes in. Thank you, Steam. Steam now has got disclosure requirements for AI, and that means that Black Ops 6 now admits this. Our team uses generative AI tools to help develop some in-game assets. The community response was pretty much duh, of course. Now, we've seen the terrible loading screens, the miserably composed art, even whole events that just look like they were shat out of Mid-Journey, but actually somehow worse. Reports also indicate that Activision is mandating this stuff for artists and that they've broken pledges that they made to their team over how far they would go with AI stuff. Now, beyond the visuals, there's also voices. I use mine. I can't wait to, I don't know, clone my own voice and, I don't know, put myself out of work, I guess. Then I can have no purpose. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, so Activision has confirmed that they are replacing beloved voice actors because, well, they refused to sign the Screen Actors Guild protections against AI exploitation. A funny little shot into this, more of a seasoning. Did you know that Bobby Kotick is in fact a union man? He is himself a member of the Screen Actors Guild because he did have a small role in the film Moneyball. So there you go. I suppose with Bobby being a member of the guild, it's kind of funny that now the company he ran is not really playing nice with the guild. Anyway, these are corners being cut, saving tiny little amounts of money while delivering a worse product, like our six-fingered Santa and all the stupid bullshit. Now, it seems insane, but I actually do think I know what their strategy is. This is not about shaving costs now. This is about systemically reducing costs and re-architecting development for long into the future, right? Call of Duty is guaranteed to turn a profit. That will never really be in doubt unless something really spicy happens. But what is now becoming clear is that your $70 game might get you a good COD game at launch, providing Activision give their teams enough time. And you know what, with Blop 6, I'm happy that I bought that game. I'm happy that I played it. I had a bloody great time. That campaign absolutely slapped. But everything after that launch will just be a case of what Activision thinks they can get away with. And the hard truth is that thus far, customers have proved their strategy right, and they are seeing more and more success. The grandest point of the video is this. Activision's big advantage is they know that no matter how angry people become, they'll have a fresh start every 12 months. I skipped Modern Warfare 3 because it seemed like an absolutely shameless, shat out in no time thing, and the campaign certainly did seem to be that. Blop 6 didn't look like that. I bought it, I played it, I had a great time. And does that mean I'm part of the problem? Technically, yes. Don't worry, I'm not going to buy bullshit later on. But in a way, that is the point. If the multiplayer's not performing to player expectations, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, or Sledgehammer will soon get another attempt. Black Ops 6 has actually seen some of the fastest drop-offs in Steam player counts for the franchise. That doesn't necessarily spell doom. Maybe it just means they had a very successful launch spike. Maybe it just means the remaining players will be squeezed harder. But no matter what, there'll be another Black Ops soon, there'll be another Modern Warfare soon, and that will be another chance. So yeah, if the Modern Warfare 3 campaign disappointed, that's fine. People loved Blop 6 for the story. All is forgiven. At least that's the thing they count on. Each new release is a massive infusion of new players who can be targeted with fresh marketing. That means lots of new revenue, and Activision trying new experiments, like with the kill cam wish lists and the expensive licensed skins. And when these experiments work, they then become permanent game features in the monetization model. We have seen this happen. When they fail, well, they get valuable data that is worked into the next iteration of the game. They can build a battle pass, layer Black Cell on top, and then they can incentivize adoption by making repeat purchases the most efficient progression path. Just look at what they've done with Black Cell, and as much as that makes people angry, whenever there's a new COD season, you will reliably see Black Cell climbing way up the Steam sales chart, because the Steam sales chart is by gross revenue, and a lot of motherfuckers buy it. Every year, Activision knows they'll lose players because of apathy and frustration with the live service model, but unlike other games that then have got to fight to win disenchanted people back in the same game, Activision gets to say, hey, last time we put Ronald Reagan in the marketing, this time there's Saddam, there's Maggie Thatcher, there's cool new things if, I don't know, you can live out your neocon fantasies. And I don't know, then I go and buy Blop 6, Lamau. But that's kind of the point, right? They got a fresh wash of everything. And the sad fact is that per the numbers, it will work. It does work. What happened to X-Defiant? What's happened to anything else that has tried to pull off a Call of Duty and fight Call of Duty on its own grounds? People have popped in for a bit, and they've pissed off because, yeah, it's not Call of Duty. And that's the problem. anything trying to be Call of Duty is, I don't know, it's like your own version of Coke. People have Coke. They know what Coke is. Even if the Coca-Cola company pisses them off, they want a nice Coke. Don't worry, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. It's probably the Coke company, who knows? Anyway, the point here is, these things are not really going to get better. People have tried to disrupt the shooter space, and audiences haven't really moved over because basically nobody really does COD like COD, and people are not willing to try something else properly. And that means that as development teams are cutting corners with generative AI to maximum output at minimal cost, and we're seeing worse and worse shit in our games, well, just keep in mind, these games sell tens of millions of copies. So even though maybe there's this video and you've thought, ugh, I don't think I'll buy the next COD, these games sell tens of millions. Who will even remember these frustrations whenever Black Ops 7 launches in 2025? Whenever Frank Woods is back again and you can go and have a little adventure. Or Russell Adler is back and I can think, wow, Russell Adler, you're so cool. That's the sad power of brand, of marketing, right? Or if it's Modern Warfare 4 in 2026. Any anger that's floating around the place, realistically, is just going to be destroyed by Captain Price, because he's Captain Price, and we all have little Captain Price brainworms in us. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? I guess the question is not whether Activision will push further, it's how much will they have to push before people en masse will vote with their wallet. We know Infinite Warfare struggled, we know Ghost struggled, but those struggled because of overall positioning, fantasy, and that sort of thing, not necessarily tactics found within. And thus far, I'm struggling to see cases where the tactics found within for monetization are truly moving the needle in a way that won't to them be anything more than a mere rounding error. I know it sounds a bit grim, but hey, at least we had fun as we sort of traipsed around this horrible nightmare mind maze. In a way, you could say that it's in fact ludonarrative resonance. Treyarch absolutely love to have multi-layered, mind-bending, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly bullshit in their games, and I guess, well, now the monetization finally matches. Fantastic! Have an awesome day. For more entertainment, watch this one next.